What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Our Streamers Cheaters. Today we are going to be doing a side-by-side comparison of what cheats look like with and without them on show. Let me explain some of the settings that are being used in the footage you're about to see today. There is wall hacks in use, and there is a low field of view aimbot with certain aim smoothness speeds set up. And we will demonstrate what it looks like with and without the wall hacks on show. If you do enjoy the video, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up if you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at BadBoy Beaman. It's the best place for you guys to contact me about any streamers, no matter how big or small, if you believe they are cheating. Right, let's crack on with the video.
Objective is to eliminate the bounty target.
Okay, so you can see he's got a bounty on that building that he's just been looking at. Checking all his angles. Sees a player there, he hasn't shot yet. You can see before he pushed into that building, he done the aim down sight thing that a lot of the streamers do so that they can hear footsteps more clear. Checks his heartbeat. He knows there's an enemy over there because he checked his heartbeat. And you can see still he's got the bounty. He knows that somebody's up top there because there's an arrow, a chevron on the red dot on the minimap. So he knew that guy was up there. So he's got on a vehicle to start pushing to the next building. Same sort of style that these top level Warzone streamers would do. Vehicle to move from one place to another and hope that there's a team there. Crosshair placement looks good. Movement looks good. Slide cancelling looks good. Right, he just spotted an enemy all the way over there in the distance. Didn't take the shot though.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Again, it just looks like he's checking all his angles. He's just spotted an enemy opposite him there. Still hasn't taken the shot. He was really toying with that enemy, wasn't he? Nice tracking on that shot down on the truck, but didn't really hit anything other than the truck, which you do see a lot of from these streamers. Oh, he lasered that guy with iron sights there, didn't he? I was just spraying the building. I'm not sure what for. Maybe to get the attention of the enemy. Oh, what lovely shots they were. Absolutely lasered that guy out the window. And then he dies.
Turn to the front line. But if you lose, you're
Okay, so now he's in the gulag. Let's watch him in the gulag. We sees the enemy there. He's really almost dead, let's be honest. So he's got a rotation onto the right side. He knows the enemy's pushing the left side there. He's just seen him. So throughout that gameplay, pretty much everything within it seemed natural. You had excuses and reasons for every single engagement. One of them being sound horning when he was aiming down sight, pushing into the building. Another one being the fact that he was on top of the roof checking all his angles. He was checking potential possibilities for enemies and locations where they may come from. he had the bounty on top of the roof. The red dot was on show on the map as well as the bounty, which was showing the chevron above it, which meant that the enemy was up above. So we knew the guy was up there. So in my opinion, everything within that video seemed and looked like what a high level Warzone player would do and look like. So what we're going to show you now, we're going to watch the exact same footage, but you'll be able to see all the cheats that were actually being used. Let's take a look now. In this footage, you can actually see the wall hacks on show, so you can see the player skeletons, but you can also see the aimbot field of view, which is the very small circle in the center of the screen. That means that if the enemy goes into that circle, that's when it will lock onto them, okay? That's what a low field of view looks like. But you can see now, he's got that enemy there in front of him. The player skeleton's turned red because he's visible for the shot. And you can actually see the aimbot locking on. It's only very small though. It's a very small snap. And this is what people are confusing with aim assist quite a lot. He acted there as though he was sound whoring, but he knew that enemy was there because he actually has wall hacks on and you can see the enemy there. He checks his heartbeat now because he knows there's an enemy outside based on the fact that he's got wall hacks on show. Checks his heartbeat, goes out and starts taking the shots. And he doesn't hit all his shots either, but he's got aimbot on. Look how small his field of view is. Again, he's playing on the bounty and playing on the fact that there's a red chevron above the dot, but he has perfect placement of where that enemy is because he's got wall hacks. He has player skeleton on with that low field of view aimbot. Now take into consideration, guys, to run a field of view aimbot like that, you still have to be naturally good at the game because you still have to get your crosshair placement right. And this is why I pointed out in the original footage that the way he's moving around seems that of a good Warzone player, and his crosshair placements seem to be perfect throughout the whole thing. However, you can see him looking like he's doing checks, and these are the similar checks that you would find top level Warzone players doing. Okay, he's had a look around before he got on that bike and noticed no enemies there. And the reason he noticed is because he didn't see any player skeletons. He pushes over to this location to loot up a little bit, and he knows that he's in the direction of where enemies are based on the player skeletons that he can see behind the fire station. And again, throughout this whole gameplay, you can still see his crosshair placement to be nice. His movements, his slide cancelling, everything is still nice. He looks like and moves like a Warzone pro. One of these Warzone pros. Self-proclaimed pro. Okay, but it looks like he's just checking angles now. And then you see the player move. Okay, originally without the wall hacks on, you could actually see that player moving. And he didn't take the shot. But it looks like he's checking angles. Now you can see the player skeleton there again. You can see the low field of view aimbot. And you can see that it's not snapping onto the enemy until it goes onto him. But he still has to toggle it on for it to actually lock. And even then, when he was actually shooting at the truck with that perfect tracking, although it didn't actually hit anything, he only hit the truck, you could see that his crosshair placement was perfect to the enemy head there. He takes a couple of shots over into the distance, where we now know we can see player skeletons. Although when they are red, it means that the players are visible, which means that even without them, you would be able to see the actual player in the game. He manages to kill that guy and has to reload there. That's the unfortunate thing for him there. But you can see, even with a very low field of view aimbot, if you have got good crosshair placement, then you can hit shots from far. Now in the Gulag, his field of view seems to have increased. And it's a very good example of showing you guys that the field of view can be increased and decreased. That small circle that you can see in the center of the screen now is the aimbot field of view working on the cheat software. So if you want to increase it or decrease it mid-game based on how intense a certain situation is, based on how good the opponent is or the enemy that you're coming up against, you can increase it or decrease it. You can adjust the settings mid-game. But this is a clear example of how using cheats doesn't always look like using cheats. It's also a clear example of how a low field of view aimbot can just look like aim assist. Now, this is on keyboard and mouse. However, if you were to use it on controller, it would have the same effect. even if you've got natural aim assist turned on in the game, it would still work. The aimbot would work. And for those who may be questioning it, we will run them side by side now, so you guys can see them both working together. You can see them running without the cheats and with the cheats at the same time, just so you guys are aware that it is the exact same footage. The whole point of this video is to demonstrate to you guys that it is actually really difficult for somebody who is not educated on the cheats to understand exactly what they're looking at. That does make the thing I do a lot harder, because I've now got to explain to a lot of people who don't understand the cheats exactly how easy it is to hide it. I've got to then explain exactly what it looks like. But you can see the difference here. You can see in the bottom left corner the player skeleton's showing. But you can see on the big screen that it doesn't look like aimbot. It doesn't look like wall hacks are on show. But they are. Look at this whole scenario now. It looks like he's sound hoarding. But actually we can see the player skeleton in the bottom left screen. The comparison is ridiculous. And the fact is that a lot of people out there are using cheats. And even when you get killed by them, you would not be able to tell. And that's the harsh truth. Cheats are so advanced now that you can adjust everything possible. From the aimbot field of view to the aimbot smoothness, to the aimbot speed, the aimbot snap. Everything you can think of is changeable. Even to the point where the thickness of the lines that are the player skeletons, the thickness of the lines for the player box, everything can be adjusted. You can adjust the colour of them. You can actually have 3D wall hacks, so it actually allows you to know which position the enemy is facing. So if you have 2D wall hacks, it just shows like a stickman. If you have 3D wall hacks, it actually shows the box as if it's three-dimensional. It actually shows the player skeleton's direction in which they are looking. That is the harsh truth about it, guys. This whole clip here is the same as what we can see with the aimbot cheats on and the wall hack cheats on. But if I was to have just shown you guys the gameplay that we're watching without the cheats on show, you'd have called me crazy. You'd have said, no, that's just a cracked player. Am I right? Well, there we have it, guys. What do you think of that? Do you think this is something we should do more of in the future, where we actually show a comparison of what it looks like with and without the wall hacks on show? Because let's be honest, you can't even really tell that aimbot is in use in them videos, but it is, with a low field of view. And you can see the wall hacks in the second video as well. But if you were to just watch that first video, I don't think any of you would really call hacks on it. Maybe one or two situations where you would say that's suspicious. But hey, if they had a UAV up at the time, you wouldn't even bat an eyelid in some of them situations. If you did enjoy the video today, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. If you want to support the channel further, hit that blue join button today and become a member of the Triple B fam. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at BadBoy Beaman. Also, before we go, don't forget we've got a second channel called Triple B Extra. Go over there and check it out. It's linked in the description below. And I do appreciate any support you guys give on that channel. Thank you. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace!